Good day, and hello from the United States of America. I'm very pleased to be with you today. To Mr. Joseph Bestman, Principal and Proprietor of Noah's Ark High School, and the faculty and staff, thank you so much for inviting me to speak today. It is truly my pleasure. Also, thank you for the wonderful work that you do with the students in Liberia in helping create future leaders of this great country. To the parents, we are very grateful for you and very proud of you and with you today, because we know that it's not always easy rearing children and helping them reach life's goals and milestones. So we say congratulations to you. I must always recognize my sons, Abraham Wessa, who is the executive director of the Dr. Preston McKever Floyd Youth Sports Academy and Foundation, and to Sebu To, who is the assistant director of the Academy and Foundation. Without these two young men, I would not be able to achieve the things that we have achieved in Liberia. For they are my hands and my feet on the ground in Liberia. I'm grateful also for the graduates, all of the graduates, but I'm particularly grateful to have 11 scholars graduating in this class today. 11 scholars who receive scholarships through my foundation and who have to maintain a B average in order to hold their scholarship. So I am very proud of you, very proud of your families, and very happy to be here with you today. And to all of the graduates, this is an important day, and I'm glad to be here to share it with you. I'm glad for your accomplishment, and you should be proud of yourselves. Take time to pat your own selves on your back and give love to your parents for standing with you. Today, I want to speak, or to use as my title, a Latin phrase, carpe diem. Carpe diem. And what it means is seize the day. Seize the day. This is my admonition to the graduates today. Seize the day. Today is the only day that you can live. You can only live one day at a time, or even more than that, only one moment at a time. No matter when we are alive, it is always now. It is always one moment. And we need to learn how to grasp the reins of the day that we have in front of us in order to get where we would like to go. Because if we sit and simply complain about yesterday and do nothing today, tomorrow will not be any different. Charles Dickens, the British author who wrote The Tale of Two Cities, in the prologue of this book, he says, "These are the best of times, and these are the worst of times." In any era, this is true, just as it is in our times and in your times. These are the best of times, and these are the worst of times. The question comes then, how can it be the best and the worst at the same time? Best and worst are subjective ideas. What's worse for somebody may be best for somebody else. So you decide, or we decide by the decisions we make, whether it's the best of times or the worst of times. This is what it means to seize the day, to make a decision as to whether this for you will be the best of times or the worst of times. And how do we do this? We look out at our world and we see things as they are, but we decide what road we wish to take. Are we going to complain about all the things that are not working? Are we going to complain about how hard it is to achieve things? Or are we going to recognize how difficult it is, yet roll up our sleeves and get to work? This is how you decide whether for you it will be the best of times or the worst of times. If you look around in this room, there are many things that people have created. There are many ideas that you've studied about and inventions that people have created. And it all started with imagination. We have been blessed as human beings with the gift of faith. And the scriptures tell us that faith is the substance of things hoped for. What does it mean to say the substance? The substance is that which stands under everything else. Substand, to stand under. And ultimately, our faith is what stands under all of our achievements. And our faith is tied to a gift that we don't often think about, which is our imagination. The ability to make images, the ability to see that which may not be there, the ability to dream of things that have not yet been done. Everyone who has ever discovered anything in life or achieved anything had to first imagine it. They had to be able to see it in their minds and feel it in their hearts in order for it to come to pass. There's a story that I love, and it is the story of the first steamship that crossed the Atlantic. The story is that framed on that ship was a paper that had been written saying how a steamship could never cross the ocean. That is what imagination can achieve. There are things that you wish to do as graduates. And some are thinking, well, I can't afford to do this. And then others are telling you, that can't be done, you can't do that. Anybody who has ever achieved anything have had people tell them that it could not be done, or they could not do it. Because others have been too weak or afraid to achieve their goals, do not allow them to cause you to give up on your goals. Also, when we seek to achieve anything, we have to face our fears. Fear is a part of what we deal with from day to day. In one sense, you can say fear and faith are twins, because fear requires, in order for you to get through it, it requires faith. Now, if you fight your fears will always be with you, because for each action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And the more you fight it, the stronger it becomes. But we are called upon to face our fears. Look them in the face. When you face your fears, then you reach faith. You come to a point that you decide, I am going to do this no matter what it takes and no matter how long it takes. This is seizing the day. This is seizing your dream. Many people talk in terms of chasing a dream. You don't want to think of chasing. You want to think of reaching. If you always talk about chasing a dream, that is what you'll do all of your life. You'll always be chasing it and never reaching it. Dreams, like horses, have to be saddled. You have to put your saddle on the horse. Or like a sailship, a sailboat. Winds will blow, but a good sailor learns to sail in rough seas. You don't learn to be a good sailor in calm times. You learn to be a good sailor in rough seas. When the winds blow, you learn how to handle your sail, when to trim it, and when to take it down. Such is the story of our lives. We must harness the wind. Many times the winds will be rough, but if we learn how to manage and maneuver our sails, then the wind will carry us in the direction and toward the goals we wish to achieve. Seize this day. Decide this day what you want to do, what you want to become, and do not allow anyone to tell you that you cannot. If you look out in your country, things may look bleak to you. There are problems, but there are problems everywhere. But what I pray for today is that all of you would begin to see yourselves as problem solvers. Don't constantly just try to run away or avoid problems, but become a problem solver. Just like in your math classes, you learned certain principles by which to solve problems. If you simply tried to solve them by looking at them, they would not be solved. But if you learn the principles, no matter how new the problem, you will learn to solve. These are some of the principles that we need to learn. There are consequences to each of our decisions. You are where you are today because of decisions you made yesterday. And you will be where you are tomorrow because of decisions you make today. For every effect, there is a cause. And if you only operate from the level of effects, then you will always be buffeted from place to place. But if you learn to operate from the causes, and the greatest cause for our achievement or our failure is inside of us. We are given the promise that the kingdom is inside of us. So that means everything that we can be or can achieve is already inside of us. Think of it like this. You've seen little seeds that grow big plants. Well, in order for that seed to become that plant, the imprint for whatever kind of planet was supposed to become was already inside of the seed. And so it is with us. It's not just about external manipulation of ideas, but it's about what we find within ourselves. Every student in front of me today has gifts and talents. And I hope in the past 12 years that some of you have discovered your gifts and talents. And if you have not, then it is still not too late. You still can discover your gifts and talents. But one way you discover is not to seek to copy somebody else's gifts or their talents or to be like them, but to listen to what your heart is speaking to you about who you are and who you can become. A lot of what we achieve has to do with what we tell ourselves in secret. Do you find yourself saying that I can't make it, that I cannot do it? If that is what you're constantly telling yourselves, then that is all that you will ever achieve. Any condition that we are facing at this present moment is already passing. The one thing that is true above all other principles is that change is the one constant in life. Everything must change. But if we hold on to ideas in our minds, then it will seem that nothing is changing. But if we release, if we face our fears, if we take the step, Dr. Martin Luther King said this, that faith is about taking the first step on the staircase when you cannot see all the other steps. And I certainly know from my life that there were times that I wanted to do something, but it never happened until I took the first step. Not really knowing whether it would occur or not, I took the step. I believed that it could happen, and it did. We must believe in ourselves. We must believe that things can change. We must believe that this can be the best time for us if we want it to be. We must believe that not only can we help ourselves, we can help our family, we can help our community, we can help our nation, and we can help our world. We must believe that in order to seize the day. When you wake in the morning, tell yourself that today is my day. Straighten your back, look straight forward, and go forth in your day. And even if the day doesn't work out exactly as you planned or as you had hoped, you can rest well at night, knowing that you gave everything you could give that day. Seize the day. Then there's another important principle, and I call it equanimity. Equanimity. And I learned this by watching my father. He didn't talk much about what he did, but I learned by watching him. My father was the first African American policeman in the state of South Carolina where we live. And I watched him not be overly moved by people praising him or people blaming him. In this life, we're going to get both. Some days, everything you do will seem like magic and everybody will be on your side. And then there will be other days when it seems that you can do nothing right and nobody is praising you, but everybody is blaming you and finding fault. And you must look at these both as imposters, because they are not what life is all about. But to be at peace within yourself, with who you are, with what you are doing, that is equanimity. Rewards will come. If we work, rewards will come. But if you work for the reward, then it will be farther and farther away from you. Do the work for the work's sake. A farmer has to wait. Once the seeds are planted, once the ground is cultivated, they have to wait. If the farmer gets anxious and goes out to the field and try to pull the plant to make it grow, he's going to kill the plant. The same thing with your ideas, the same things with your future. If you try to rush it without doing the necessary work, you're going to kill the idea, kill the dream, kill the plant. And nobody else has to do it for you. You would have done it yourselves. So, seize the day. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Use your faith. Use your imagination. Face your fears. Understand that each moment is a new moment, as each day is a new day. And do not weep over yesterday's failures, but learn from them and move on into the new day. Seize the new day. Each new day is a new beginning. We like to talk about a new year coming in, but the truth is, every day is the beginning of a new year. So seize the day. Activate your faith, face your fears, and use your imagination. Use your imagination to dream big dreams, and to harness those dreams and bring them into reality. Seize the day. As I close, I offer this blessing for the graduates of 2022. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lifts up the light of his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.